Hi everyone! So today I'm gonna talk about a topic that probably most of you find really interesting, which is studying Korean as a language. I've been studying Korean for quite some time now. I think it's now 3 or 4 years, but I'm still not really good because first I did take private lessons, which was really cool, but that was for the beginning and I didn't really get that far with that. Then I went to a Korean school, which is like a Hanguk Hakyo. It's like, how do you say that? It's like a school for usually Korean children, like children of Korean parents here in Germany, who are supposed to learn the language of their parents. That was really good, but it was only once a week, and I had so many other things to take care of because it was during the time I did my last year in school. So yeah, I didn't really get to it. And now I am studying Korean at university, which is probably the most efficient way to learn the language. Also, there's another really efficient way, but I'm going to come to that. So first of all, I'm going to talk about some books that you can use if you study by yourself. I'm going to talk about German people mostly because that's where I'm from and that's what I have the best experience with. But if you have other ideas, please leave a comment below and we might do another video later. Also, we decided against teaching you real Korean. We might do a video on Hangul, but there's so many things out there and so many places where you can study it that you don't really need our help with that. And we're not native speakers, so that's another thing. So first of all, for Germans, there's the Pons. Most of you probably know Pons. They have a book on Korean, which is like the basic level on Korean that says the book. Thing is, that book is really more, in my opinion, for people who already know the alphabet, who can read Korean, and who have a little knowledge already, because it does explain the grammar quite okay. But it uses a weird way to teach you the language because it always uses the written out form, not the Hangul form, but the Romanized form. And I think that is not a good way to learn Korean. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe some people like it better that way, but it's a different alphabet and you shouldn't put it in our alphabet all the time. So that is really stressful in my opinion because you always have to think back and forth between the two alphabets. I own that book. I think it's 28 euros or something. It's quite expensive. It comes with a CD. I don't know if there's a second level for that yet. But if you already studied Korean for quite some time and you want to freshen up on some topics, it gives you big vocabulary lists on, for example, working, family business or all that. So that is really useful. And it also explains it in a German way. So if you have trouble understanding English or if, German is the language you feel the safest in to learn other languages, you should probably use that book. But like I said, it's not good for starters. Then what we used at the private lessons and also for most of the time while I was there at the Korean school is this one, which is called einfach Koreanisch in German. In Korean it's 한국어 쉽게 가르치고 배우기. And it is also a really good way, in my opinion, to study Korean, especially if you have a teacher. This is much more easier to use if you have a teacher who also gives you other material. Our teachers always gave us other stuff to practice it. This also has some, how do you say that, practices in there where you have to use the knowledge you acquired through the book, but it's not, it's not sufficient enough in my opinion. I own 2 of these books, level 1 and level 2, and I think the thing about these books is you get them for free, if I'm not completely wrong here. I know that the first private school I got those at sold them to us for 15 bucks, which was really way too much. And I think in the other, at the Korean school we paid like 5 euros because it was expensive to ship them. But you get this cheap, and it's in German as well, so all the explanations are in German, which is really good again if you don't understand English. Most of the explanations are really clear if I remember correctly, so it is also recommendable for self-study if you're not too fond of studying Korean through English, but it is not my first choice. It would be my second choice, I guess. Now, in my opinion, the most sufficient book to do some self-studies is the Satang Hangugo New Satang New Hangugo whatever study book. So the 1A level, it's the first study book by Satang. They also have exercises online. If you look up Satang, Satang University and Korean course, you will always find the exercises online somewhere. And this is the student's book, which is basically the book with all the dialogues in it. It also has some little tasks in there. So all units in this book are pretty much structured the same. You always have certain dialogues in which the new grammar is introduced, and then you have some tasks down below that you can do, some practices, and then you have also, after those dialogues, which are basically for speaking practices, you have another speaking practice, and then you have a reading practice where you have longer texts. These are not really long, but you have introductions, for example, here, I think, or something, I don't know, I'm not sure. And then you also have a reading exercise. It also comes with a CD. And what this one comes with as well is a little booklet which has all the grammar in it, which is really amazing. It has all the vocabulary in it, first sorted by unit, and then in the end you have also like a little dictionary where it's sorted by Korean alphabet. So you can look up all the words you need for one book. Also, if you decide to study Korean with Satang, which is, like I said, the best way if you want to study by book, you should also always get this one, which is a workbook, and it has all sorts of exercises in there to get to know the grammar better and to use it. And it also comes with a CD because you have listening exercises again, and it also has really interesting facts in there. Like after every lecture you have a little fact about Korea, which is also really fun to read. It's usually like a whole page. This, for example, is a historical and cultural tour of Seoul. You have all those things. It's really a great addition to the normal book. I think if you buy both, you're probably at $30 or even 40 maybe. I know that's expensive, but if you want to study by book, and if studying by book is more convenient for you than other ways, then this is the way to go. Only thing is, it's all in English. So if you're an English speaker, this is the right way for you, in my opinion. Okay, now about the other options. I know self-studying by book is always really hard because you need a lot of discipline to do it. I know while I took a break from studying Korean, I didn't really study at all, even though I had the books. At some point I just went through all the Satang books and did those, but yeah, it's still hard. So there's this great website which is called talktomeInKorean.com. Most of you probably already know that website, and they have a really fun and easy way to explain grammar to you, so it's understandable for almost everyone, in my opinion. And they also give you like workbooks and exercises and stuff for free. It's a free way to study Korean, which is always the best. And they give you all sorts of special things, like you have dialogues that you can follow. They give you stuff on Korean culture. It's really, really great. And I personally haven't studied with them that much, but I know I met a girl who was on a much higher level than me, even though I studied Korean at a Korean school, and she only did it with talktomeInKorean.com. So I was like, wait, that's interesting. So I looked into it a little bit, and to me it's probably the best way out there if you don't want to do it by yourself. And you can always ask them if you have any questions, and they reply to you, as far as I know. So there are always many people who help you. It's a big community by now. Also, if you already know some Korean and you wanna get into it deeper and learn how to talk to people, you can always look for Tandem Partners online. I don't know if you say tandem or tandem or whatever. That's what you call it in German. It's pretty much just a language partner that you talk to about everything, basically. Just talk to him and get a feel for the language, and they correct you if you do something wrong, and you correct them if they study your language and want to talk in your language. So it's pretty much you help each other. There are also websites for that. There's Lang8, for example, where you can write essays in a language and native speakers will correct it. It's pretty cool. And now the last and probably in the end really best way to study Korean is, of course, go to Korea and check for a course there. I have some experience with that. Last summer I went to the Satang Korean Immersion program, and it was really the best thing I did for my Korean, because you get thrown into there. Suddenly all your courses are in Korean only, and if you have a question you have to ask in Korean, and your teacher will explain to you in Korean what he's talking about. It is really hard at the beginning, but if you get a feel for it, it's so much fun, because you actually, you are forced to speak the language. Even when they send you out and they say, okay, do stuff, go to a restaurant, you go there, you have to speak Korean, there's no other way around it. And the only thing is, I did the summer course, which was like 5 weeks, and you do a whole book, a whole Satang book. I did level 1B last year, so I wasn't that experienced yet. And you don't, after that you have to keep studying Korean, because if you don't, you will forget everything you did that summer, because it's so fast. You do 1 unit a day almost, like it feels like it. I think 1 unit every 2 days or something. And I will talk a little more about the Korean Immersion program. There you do language classes in the morning, and then culture classes in the afternoon or evening, and also on the weekend you're usually off, but you can do some programs. For example, I went to Inkigayo with the class or with people from the program, and they give you great opportunities to do stuff. I think it's too late to sign up now for this year. I bet if you ask nicely they might still sign you up, but usually it's, they have enough people in this program. But it's really worth it. It is expensive, but you also get to stay in the dormitory. You get to experience life of a Korean student, and it's open to all ages. I think you have to be in high school, I guess, but it's pretty much open to all ages, and it's really a great experience. There are also other programs. Of course, you can do a semester of Korean at Satang. I think you can also do that if you're not a student, but I'm not sure about that 100%. They have a great offer on Korean language there. There's also Yonsei University, where you can also do summer courses, I think, and you can also do full semester courses. But while Satang is not that much into teaching you grammar and more is about, learning the language as it's spoken, what I heard from Yonsei, I didn't do it, but what a friend told me who went there, is that they are more into the written part of it, into the grammatical correctness of everything. And I don't know, it depends if you need that or if you just want to, speak. There's also a summer course that is offered every year from a partner here in Germany for a university in Gyeongju. Don't ask me exactly which university, I forgot right now. I think it's Dongguk, but I'm not really sure. Yet that offer is every year, and I think it didn't happen until now, or it happened 2 years ago, but last year it didn't happen, and this year didn't happen either, because they need 15 participants to start the program, and they always have like 8 or 9. So I'm really sorry for that. But they also offer great deals. It's not that expensive because it's not in Seoul, it's in Gyeongju, which is an amazing city. I really want to go there. I've seen so many pictures and read so many articles about it, and it's more like a historical site than a, new city whatsoever. But yet, yeah, it is also a great offer. I think I'm gonna include all the links down there. I might also do a blog post about this, because it's a big topic, studying Korean in general, and I think this is a really long video now, I don't know. But if you have any questions, I'm not an expert. I don't speak Korean fluently. I'm doing okay on my actual level at the moment, but I will try to help, not about the language itself, but more about the way to study it. And yeah, I think that's it. So I guess if you have questions, contact us, and we might do, like I said, a Hangul introduction video in the future. But we'll see about that, if people actually care about that. Also, keep on subscribing and keep on liking our page on Facebook, because we're getting closer and closer to 150 followers, and as far as I can see now, our giveaway is going to be really, really big. So, bye bye!